Good morning, everybody. On Wednesday, as it's been mentioned, we had our vestry meeting, and Sandy Wood, our treasurer, distributed the proposed budget for 2022, which was approved by the vestry, and now will be coming to y'all at the annual meeting for your approval. The annual meeting is going to be held on February 20th at the Sarasota Yacht Club, and we'll be having brunch. And the business that will be conducted is going to include 2 new vestry members, and then we need to vote on them, as well as diocesan convention candidates. And those candidates will also be electors for the new bishop in April. And finally, we will be approving that annual budget. And if you are interested in being a diocesan convention candidate, you can give me your name or Father Dave, and we can explain what that entails. Father Dave is going to be out of town February 1st to February 3rd. He's going to be giving a memorial service for a dear friend in San Diego. And he will be doing some of his meetings via Zoom, and then somebody else, I think it's a men's group, somebody will step other way, women's group. So I guess he'll be on a plane at that time, so somebody else will stand in for him during that. The Outreach Commission, which y'all have been hearing about in some indirect way, the New to You art sale, and Habitat for Humanity is one of their major things right now. Additionally, they're working or meeting with Mothers Helping Mothers next week. They have monies that they need to distribute to charitable organizations. And so they're looking, obviously, at Habitat for Humanity. We've already been involved in Mothers Helping Mothers, and then they're looking for another organization that helps elderly people, who are also some of our forgotten individuals in this world. Father Dave mentioned to you the New to You art sale, but one thing that I would like to mention is that during the week of February 7th and 14th, we need what we're calling docents to sit in the room with all the art from 10 to 1, so that 10 to 1, so when people come to look and buy, there is someone there. Lynn did most of that last year, and that's hard because she also has another job, which is to be in the office and answer the phone and help people. So if you would be interested in volunteering, let me know, or Father Dave, and we would greatly appreciate your time. You can bring a book and sit there. You may have a quiet day, you may have a busy day. We don't really know, but we'd appreciate any help you can give us. Now, today is the kickoff for our stewardship for the year 2022. And that's going to run from today through February 20th. And at that point, we hope to be able to share with you what we were able to raise or get commitment for. And next week, Sandy, our treasurer, is going to actually go through all the information on how to contribute. There's going to be several ways, online as well as traditional pledge cards. She will go through the budget, some of the budget information, and tell you what we're trying to raise this year. I wanted to share with you how important this church is to me, and hoping that each of you, as you listen to me and as you make decisions on contributions, that you think about what All Angels and its congregation mean to you and how you can help support it. I recently had to put down one of my dogs. She was 12 years old and became ill very suddenly, and then I was left with that decision of, okay, it's time to say goodbye. And as anyone who's ever had to put down a pet that we love, you know that it's heart-wrenching. It's you keep hoping that they're going to get better. You think today's the day, and then they eat, and you think, oh, good, they're okay, that type of thing. And I had the opportunity during the last 2 weeks of her life to be here at church a lot. And both Father Dave and, well, actually Father Dave, Fred, and Maggie all were very supportive. They talked about their own experiences. We talked about whether or not pets have souls, whether or not we're going to see them in heaven. I mean, you know, it just kind of helped me through the process of grieving and finally making that decision to have her put down. I think the remarkable thing is not only did I have the support of the Reverends Fred, Dave, and Maggie, but people in the congregation were unbelievable. When they heard about it, I've received flowers, notes, phone calls, emails, hugs, and it really made me realize what a home this church is. That we're more than this building, that it's the parish and our clergy and our staff that make All Angels what it is. Last year, when we were returning to in-person services and I really spoke about being back in the building. You know, we hadn't been here for a year. It was so good to come, even though we were, you know, dispersed around the whole room, and to be able to sit here and see the altar, watch Father Dave in person rather than on Zoom. But now that we're back to our normal, not normal quite yet, but that we're back here and getting more active, I really had to think about all the wonderful things that we have. And those things, you know, we have our worship service. We receive pastoral care. And we also help others through outreach. We socialize and develop friendships here at church during our coffee hours, ECW, and our social events, such as the wine and cheese for New to UR. We're able to strengthen our religious knowledge through the women's and men's group and the Bible study. And then every Thursday we have music in the park where we have Dale and some of the choir members sharing information about music, and then Dale playing our beautiful new organ. So this church is a building of all of those things to make us what we are, and I hope make it important to you, each of you. I hope that after Sandy meets next week with us and tells us shares everything with us, that you will go home and think about what All Angels means to you, and you will continue supporting our staff, our building, and all of our programs. Thank you.
We are blessed to have her as our treasurer and to be the navigator of a very difficult couple of years that some churches have not navigated as well, and we have. And it's thanks to all of your generosity and to our leadership, which I am blessed every day to be a part of. So with that, I'm going to invite Sandy to come forward and for her to talk to you briefly about stewardship. So, Sandy.
All right. As they say on TV, thanks for having me. This is my favorite thing to do, is to, first of all, represent this stewardship committee, which right now consists of the vestry behind us, but of course Jerry Bowles and Cathie, Wilt, and Dave and myself are just getting the ball rolling. Certainly you'll hear more as we go through the coming weeks. What I would like to do is really to do a little bit of a year in review, because I think it's appropriate for, if we're going to ask you for money, to tell you what we did with the money that you gave us last year, and what our intentions are for the coming year. So I'm going to try to do that effectively right now. The 2021 was dedicated to really recognition that the building had substantial needs. And so we engaged in some pretty substantial maintenance programs, and those included, of course, the completion of the roof over the sanctuary, which highlighted a need for us to do some remedial work on the ceiling, which took a very long time. Everyone can agree that took a long time to do, and it was expensive. And of course, the most wonderful thing was that we were able to install the Allen organ, which is, thanks to the magnificent generosity of so many people, was able to be done very quickly, and it brought us the joy that continues every week. And again, we are just so very grateful for those who made that possible within the budget of our church. We now then, during 2021, we also found that there was a need to do the kind of maintenance that happens with a building that started, that was opened in the 80s, and another building, this sanctuary, that was opened in the 90s. So what we saw was a beginning of a deterioration of the stucco finish. We repaired some water intrusion issues that we had, and as a result, I think that, together with the landscape work, including a hurricane cut, a very expensive hurricane tree cut, I think is why that you're able to see a very beautiful building, which is now accessible to all who may decide that they are not comfortable using the stairs, and can take advantage of all of the new ramps and accesses and railings that we have. So that is the wonder that was 2021. And of course, it would not have been possible within the budget that we set forward in 2021 without this, magnificent is the only way I can describe it, without your creating the ability for us to pay these bills and to actually in 2021 have some money left over. We were also able to establish funds in a maintenance reserve so that we can take those funds into 2022, where we know that the work is going to continue. The next thing that I want to talk about is really how we have been able to be so successful and stable financially throughout the years. And it is due to a group of people that I would call investors. And these people go way back to the very beginning of the church. And they continue to be those who contributed to what we call the legacy/endowment fund. And that is a fund that has been invested. And we are continuing to invest in the marketplace with funds that these precious investors have given us to allow us, should we ever reach a situation where we found that we did not have enough resources to maintain the building and to pay our staff, including Dale, Dave, and Lynn. These are the people that I call those who bring the community alive. They are the people who work continuously to make sure that everything is ready for us to have a wonderful worship experience, and then throughout the week to be able to have groups, the Bible study group, the men's and women's group, and to provide them for people who are not even present in Longboat Key at this time. This is all thanks to those people who have given unselfishly, who have given to our operating budget so that we can do what we need to do in order to make the community as alive as it is today. To those people, I want to say thank you, and I think you should also consider thanking each other yourselves. You've done a wonderful job so far, and it makes the work of someone like a treasurer be very pleased and proud of all of you who respond. You've seen this in your bulletin, and you will probably continue to see it everywhere until we get all the resources that we need in order to operate for 2022. So just get used to it, and if you don't want to continue seeing it, you can just send it in, and then we'll stop bugging you about it. But that's all I have for you, and I just want you to feel free to contact me either through the office or in any of the things that we send out that have my phone and email address. And I'm always very happy to talk to you about numbers. I know most people run screaming from my office when I do that, but anyway, it's always my pleasure to give you information about this wonderful church and to help you to feel comfortable in becoming hopefully an investor or a contributor, but on some level providing your financial support for the church. Thank you.